Now, another flexible question, supposedly very difficult, you can see question number 3. Just to see one more practice. And these are all interrelated. I am taking from one to the other. Here, we are talking about it's not given any and all, but that any is given even more given explicitly using variables. So, how do we approach? Take any triangle. These are supposedly the difficult questions, right? But you will take any triangle. Now, what is the best triangle to assume? Equilateral triangle. So, if you don't like it, you can assume in right angle triangle. After that, you see the diagram. So, ABCD, ABC, nothing else is fixed. Just the triangle is named as ABC. This point can be anywhere. So, what I'll ideally do is, I'll take that point as, this is one option, where I'll put 1, 1, 1 everywhere. No one can question 1, 1, 1 everywhere. So that why? Because calculation wise A equal to 1, B equal to 2 because that's these two together. So this is your assumption, A1, B2 and C1. And finally you need to look for an answer. You can eliminate all options where it's not 2. This is what you are trying to find out, right? A, E, X, B. This region is what you need to find out. In my assumption it's 2. So in my substitution, if I am not getting 2, I can be 100% sure that that's wrong. It's not about getting right, it's about eliminating wrong options. This question you will never get in your paper. This is too high a level for CAT. Some of the Olympiad papers you will find. So, when you don't have anything else to do, try proving this in variables. Once all the exams are over. But not now. Okay. But finally, in an objective paper, this is nothing, right? Your question is variables to variables. Or in other words, it's completely flexible. You can change the question, you can change the options, and you can match the answer. Or you can eliminate the options where it's not matching. So, now it's not necessary that you are following this, right? You don't need to follow what I am telling. You can take this point wherever you want. That's what you should think about. You can take it wherever you want. I took X as this point, where the point of intersection of all the medians and all. But you can take that point, you can take this point wherever you want. And this is not an actual question. Okay, now, so one-dimensional questions. Two-dimensional questions are easier to deal with. Two-dimensional questions they are much even easier than 1D questions, because the reason is we are looking at all regular diagrams. There also your method can be just cut the diagram, count the answer. I'll just use one standard question which I always use for explaining, and then we'll solve questions based on that. Or more importantly, we'll start making questions which the others will take a lot of time to solve. Now, CAT level is very basic here in these kind of questions. If you go through the previous papers, most of them are not even worth mentioning anywhere. So, a question like ABCD by DEF looks moderate, but it's very, very easy. Answer is 2 lines away. Why? Because everything is, there's nothing which you can't define here, right? You have a square, midpoints are defined, it will be defined. Then find ABCD by DF is as easy as cut the diagram, count the answer. This is your answer. When you are trying to find out area of ABCD by DF, what you are supposed to do is, first you drop a perpendicular. That is just to make it look like it's a math class. It's about cut the diagram, count the answer. AEMD, ABCD, if you assume it as 100, AEMD will be 50. Outside this line will be 25. Now, drop a similar perpendicular so that D and FC is another 50. Right? D and FC is another 50. Outside this line is 25. And it's over, right? Question is over. EOFB is 25. Outside this is 12.5. So answer is 62.5 if it's outside. Inside it must be 37.5. Or that's if it's given in percentages. If it's given as a fraction, answer can be given as 8/3. So, two-dimensional questions, ratio of area questions, standard diagrams are... Now, you can't solve every question like this, I told you. You can't just cut a diagram like this and find this answer. But these kind of questions are, you're not going to get it in the next 20-25 years anyway. Maybe even after that, in an aptitude paper. Because this paper is just to test your common sense. You need to understand that first. It's just a test of common sense, whatever it's called. So, all regular diagrams, you can simply cut the diagram and mark the answer, right? All regular diagrams, you can actually cut the diagram and mark the answer. So, solving a question like this, there's another one, it's there in your sheet, you can find that which question is this later. This shaded region, where this is given as 5, or basically this was given as 10. Rather than giving it directly, they'll tell that there's a circle and then there is the diameter at 10, so that this will take it as 5. So once you get that as 5, it's a regular hexagon, so this is given as 5. And question is to find the shaded region, not the ratio and all, but find the shaded region. So how do we approach? One is, you can bring them together and solve it like this, so that this is 1/3. Or, you can keep it separate. You can cut them into 12 equal areas and count the answer as 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 out of 12. Same as 1 out of 3. So overall area is nothing, right? This is question number 4. You can solve it later. There's nothing to solve. What is there to solve? One more actual question. Question number 4, diagram is there. You can immediately identify the diagram. You can immediately identify that diagram. It's an area-based question where, see hexagons, how can we divide? You can divide like this. These two are equal, and trapeziums. These 3 are equal. In this case, it's a rhombus, so all sides are equal. These 6 are equal, equilateral triangles. These 12 are equal, right angle triangles. These 54 are equal, equilateral triangles. Now why 54 is not a question only, because how do we define? Or why is it 54? Cut just one part outside and join trisections. You can count the answer as 1, 3, 5. 1 plus 3 plus 5 will always be 9. And the original diagram is this 6 times. This into 6 is the original diagram. This is nothing but 9. So it's 54. This is not a question. You can make questions which that level you will never get. Like this. Find the shaded region as a fraction of the whole region. You will get 11/54. Now, there's no practice required here as such. You need to learn diagrams in numbers. This is 1, 3, 5. What is this diagram? It's a standard diagram, right? You have 1, 3, 5. Why is it a standard diagram? Because we are talking about equilateral triangles and more equilateral triangles inside by joining the trisections. If this is written as 1, 3, 5, now our same approach. Just copy the diagram, paste it on the right hand side, but upside down. So what will happen is here it will become 5, 3, 1, right? 5, 3, 1. 1 on the left hand side, that also will be 5, 3, 1. So first line is 5 plus 1 plus 5, which is 11 out of 54. So that is why this answer I gave you, this is 11 out of 54. Now, these many divisions and all is, you're not going to find only. This is a 2003 question, which now I know it's as easy as 15 seconds. A, B, C, D, E, F. Finding ACE by ABCDF is not a question for you. ACE by ABCDF, how will you count the answer? 1, 2, 3, over. You will count the answer as 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Out of 6, 3 are inside. The answer is 3 by 6. So, regular diagram, so you might think, okay, this is not the diagram. The diagrams can be as complex as you have a square, you have a circle, you have a hexagon, you have an equilateral triangle. Most of the times, it's not that all of them will be put together. That's too high a level. Most of the times, it's just 2 of them together. Any 2. Take any 2 and make your question. That's how you should learn. Expect any 2 diagram out of this, put them together. Make it look complex. But the fact is, it can never be complex. This is all defined, right? This is a diagram which you can write in numbers. This is basically something which you will come across so many times while solving questions. That's why I'll solve questions based on this in almost all sessions. But basically, you can simply write the diagram as 4 area wise, 4, circle is pi, equilateral triangle or hexagon is 6 into root 3 by 4 into 1, and this is root 3 by 4 into root 3 square. The diagram in numbers. If you can write a diagram in numbers, trust me, there is nothing unpredictable over there. If you can write a diagram in numbers. So, same way, if you can write numbers in diagrams, it's one and the same. So what is solving a question? You will get a diagram, answers will be in numbers. There will be a lot of points given, some of them useful, some of them useless. You will be able to figure that out very fast. So, you can make questions, right? There are 4 people running around, 1 person around a circle, 1 person around square circle, 1 around this track, 1 around this track. Where will they meet? How many times they will meet? These are not questions. These are not questions which you can't, I'm not telling you, you might take time, 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes. But there is nothing which you can't understand over there. That's a difficult question from a previous paper, based on a story where people were running around. With some common point. There is a common point in that diagram. That's where they start. Make your own question. Don't solve made questions made by someone else. So how do we expect those questions, right? How do we expect those questions? Some of them you have already seen, right? This question number 4 is an easy one. You have a circle and you have this. Area based, perimeter based, angle based. There is nothing which you can't solve. Or you can have questions like this. There is a question. Equilateral triangle and a square. Which is basically triangle in a triangle. That's how you should read. Triangle in a triangle. Don't see the other way around. The moment you see triangle in a triangle where these lines are parallel like this, they are parallel, right? Because it's a square. You know that it's a very simple question. Circle in a triangle, or triangle in a circle. So, just to make it look difficult, maybe you don't join here, join here. Find the perimeter. It's a difficult question in a previous CAT paper. Find the perimeter. Radius, put whatever you want. Put 1. Find the perimeter. You need to understand that this is a question which you know. What will be the answer? You will mark the answer faster than the guy who is making a paper. Because you know this diagram in and out, in numbers. Just that, you can just learn this diagram, square and a circle. There is something which I will repeat in one more session. But since I already started off, you can just note this down. What is here? That's not from memory. That's something which you can write down. I was not writing it from memory. If this is 1, area of the circle is 4. So this will be 1. Sorry, area of the square is 4. Area of the circle also will be pi, because there is also 1. That's again 1. What is this diagram? Polygon in a polygon in a polygon in a polygon. Everything which can be defined in words. In simple words. We call it squares, circles and hexagons and triangles. So 4 is clear. That's the outermost diagram. Next diagram is pi in terms of area. Next diagram is 6 into, so this is 1, this will be 1, this will be 1. So that's why it's 6 into root 3 by 4 into 1 square. Why 6 times? Because each 6 of them, right? Don't see this diagram now. 6 equilateral triangles like this will make up that hexagon. So that's why the third one is 6 into root 3 by 4. This you should not memorize. You can just write down as and when it's required. And diagram, it looks complex, but there's nothing complex here. So we have reached, now the innermost diagram is where, so we have this as 1, right? This is 1, this is 1, so this is easy. What is that? Root 3 by 2. This is also root 3 by 2. So what is this complete distance? Root 3. So equilateral triangle is with side root 3. Root 3. So area you can write root 3 by 4 into root 3 whole square. That's 3 only. I'm not asking you to memorize this. There's nothing to memorize. You can write down as and when it's required. Based on what is given. 4 of them you getting it together, chances are very less. Most of the times, pick 2 of them, make the question. Just keep this in mind, scan through the last 15 years papers. You'll find so many familiar questions which you won't even waste time solving it because you will know that you can solve it. So, and I'm not discussing anything easy here, that I'm leaving it for the last pattern workshop. I will just tick the answers. So, now, so can you give me the answer? This is easy now, right? The diagram which I asked you before, this one. A circle and there is an equilateral triangle. This is supposedly a difficult question. I don't know what is difficult here. ABCD. What is that you can expect here? It can be about perimeter, area or angle, nothing else. There is no other question possible, right? It's just 2D. So 1D, 2D or angle based. So length of ABCD is the question where radius is given as 1. Radius is given as 1. Now, it looked much simpler if I just complete the diagram. I told you it's either about joining the points or about assuming that lines are not there. If I just join the points, you see how it will turn out. So, we are talking about, we know that this is 1 and 1. Why? Because of this, right? Because this is a hexagon actually. This is part of a hexagon. These 2 lines are part of that hexagon. These 2 lines are part of that hexagon. And these 2 lines are part of that equilateral triangle. So you can simply write the answer root 3, 1 and 1. Adding up, I'm sure you won't take time. Root 3, 1 and 1 is your answer. See, the idea here is, I showed you the complete diagram. If you can see only part of this, immediately you will realize that this is part of that. These 2 lines are part of that hexagon, and these 2 lines are part of that equilateral triangle. I can complete the equilateral triangle like this. I can complete the hexagon like this. So when I make it complex, it looks familiar. So this will be a question where marking the answer will take more time than getting the answer. One more. And I am talking about supposedly the moderate to difficult questions in your previous papers. So point here is join all the similar points. So you have a hexagon here, right? And they are all equilateral triangles. This is the 6. So you have 6 hexagons. And the other one is basically you skip one point and join, right? That's when you get an equilateral triangle. And we know that the question was just based on this. This was the question. Now, I can write the same question like this. You take a circle. What is important is when you read a question like this, take tangents at right angles. So, you take tangents at right angles. Take all tangents at right angles, join all the points. That will be the next circle. Find the area of the second circle. That will be double of the first circle. This is also a very difficult question. This is what those who remember coordinate geometry, this is what we call director circle. 12th standard somewhere we have memorized. But area wise, this will be half of the first one. Area wise, this circle will be half of the first one. Why? Because this square is double of the inner one. This is the reason. It's the same reason. If you start with 4, next circle will be pi, next square will be 2, next circle will be pi by 2. So, half. If the outer circle is pi, next circle will be pi by 2. What is this? If I write this, you should be able to visualize the diagram, or vice versa. And that's not difficult. That's not difficult at all, because we are talking about very basic diagrams. So, just that, how do you get the second circle? The other way around. See, if you start from this one, you take a square, you join the points, you get one circle, you inscribe another square, inscribe another circle. This is when you move like this, outer to the inner. Inner to the outer, how do you write this in words? Knowing that is important, right? You take all tangents, point of intersection of tangents at right angles, all of them. I am just showing 4 of them here. You can, if you join all of them, you will get one circle, and then put that circle in a square. You can keep on, this is the diagram, making it the other way around. But written in words. Questions are nothing but the same thing is written in words. Knowing that if you take tangents, that just 4 of them at right angles is just a square, is actually not at our level. So, now, see question number 11 is something which I already explained. Similar one while discussing the properties itself. So here, the only thing which we need to do is join all the defined points. You will end up looking at all those basic properties because you have a point outside by two tangents combined with, so combining is nothing but just joining the points defined. You get a kite here, and we know that in this kite, this is 90, this is 90, so we can get this complete angle as 40, 90, 90. I've discussed a similar question. So 220, remaining is 140. And out of the remaining 140, now this is an external point. Again, drop two tangents, combine with the radii, you get a kite. So if this is x, this will be x. There is an external point. Just see this point, joining with two tangents, combined with two radii. That's one more kite. So if this is y, this will be y. So this complete 140 is 2x plus 2y. Question is just to find out x plus y. So answer is 70. These are some of the typical questions. So one common thing is you have three external points. So you can always think about three kites when there are three external points. In an angle-based question, angle-based questions is taking it as or visualizing it as a kite. It will make it easy because you know that in a kite, the diagonal will be the angle bisector as well as the perpendicular bisector. Kite is nothing but where the adjacent sides are equal. Now, next question is much simpler. So read it as an actual question. Now, why is it easy here? I told you start looking at the point level, right? There are some lines given which might not be important at all. You just look at this, and when you see 4 points on the circle, this is the first thing which you will take. I already told you. There's nothing to solve. 50 here is 130 here. So 50 here. That's your answer. See, when the 4 points are defined on the circle also, right? So 50 here, 130 here because it's cyclic. This is cyclic. So solving here, I'll call it as just, if you join this, it's over. Join this line is what matters. And I don't think you'll take too much time figuring that out. So this is 130, this will be 50. Out of all the types, length-based, area-based, angle-based, once you know how the properties are related, angle-based will become the easiest. The other two will be again closely followed by the other two types in terms of level of difficulty. Okay, now